What up, everybody? It's the collab. Happy to be here. Yeah, man. It's the all guys takeover this time, man. The ladies decided to take a night off, so we got Tino the Great, my boy Trim, the producer heavyweight, and the homie, the artist, the man. You know what? Yo, I think you like the artist of the year, man. I don't know. I know it was a little early this year. I think you like the Instagram artist of the year. We got Walt Disney.
Yeah.
The building.
What's up,
yes,
y'all?
sir?
What's good?
So listen, man. Oh yeah, and the new specs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the new glasses that I got. I needed some new ones, man. But anyway, so listen, man, we have a great show. We're gonna have some fun, man. I know it's a little tense out there in the world, man. The world's tense. It's just crazy out here, man. We're gonna address some things, some things that's on our mind, you know what I'm saying? Some things that we, just decide, whatever's on the mind, we just shoot them out, whatever we think is important, I should say. And then we're gonna get into our top 10 Black classic movies. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that, I don't know, man. Black movies are my babies, man. I hate to choose, but I just say, you know what? I'm just gonna write some down and then we're gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. So like, what y'all want to talk about, man? Floor is yours. What are we doing, man?
I'm open for whatever, man. You want to go first? What you want to talk about, man? You got a trending topic, whatever you want to spit.
Well, I guess like the first thing. Let me say this first. Y'all been watching the George Floyd case.
Yeah.
I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, what's y'all opinions on that? As far as like, I'll just be straight up. Like, what y'all think gonna
happen? What do I think is gonna happen?
Yeah.
I think something stupid is gonna happen. I think that they're gonna find him. It's either one or two things gonna happen. Either they're gonna find him not guilty, or they're going to give him like a reduced charge where it's going to be considered like a slap on the wrist. It's not going to be something that, we're not going to feel justified from the result of this case. And the reason why I say that is because the simple fact is, why is there a case? Why is there a case? There not be a case.
No.
There shouldn't be a case where, like, we all know what happened. George Floyd, he was slain at the hands of Derek Chauvin, and who reached on the other side of a back seat of a police car while George Floyd was handcuffed, pulled him out through the car from the other side, and put his knee on his neck for over 9.5 minutes. So that doesn't make any sense. So that's just me. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got way too many examples on how police are. Well, you see, like, plain as day, they're murderers, and they get slaps on the wrist, right? So, we got way too many situations. I mean, you think about Rodney King.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney King. I mean, that's the original video to go viral on the news, right?
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying?
Telling me about that, y'all.
Yeah. Like, dude, like that thing was all over the place. And the first one that's like, like somebody actually, like, you saw this type of thing happening on TV. And I mean, obviously, you got back in the day, you see that, like, those black and white, news clips of, like, the dogs being fetched on to people and everything. Yep. But that video was the first time it was actually like something to where it was done in the dark. Actually, when you look at the video, it was dark, and it was caught on film. You know what I'm saying? So to the point where it wasn't, at this time, it's not supposed to happen. Like, back then, it was known to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this time in the 80s, it's like, nah, this ain't supposed to happen. So, but we see how that case ended, right?
Yep.
Then, which I mean, they didn't murder him, but they still beat him. They could have.
Yeah.
Then you fast forward to George Floyd, right? And this is something to where like you see his face. Do you recall his face as he has his knee on his neck?
I can only watch the joint like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
It's hard to watch.
It is.
It is. I was like, after I watched it the first time, like I couldn't anymore, man. It's like everything pulls at you to where like, like let him up. Just get off of him. Like, dude, just get off of him. He's crying for help. Get off of him.
Like look at his face, bro. To me, he looks like he's having fun. Like it's like he's very proud of what he's doing.
Yeah. Like this is how it goes.
Right, exactly.
Nah.
It's an abuse of power.
It is. It is abuse of power. Because it's like there was no threat there.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He was detained. There was no threat.
There's no threat. This is an abuse of power, and they're not going to throw this known murderer, police murderer, in the jail full of murderers. You understand what I'm saying?
They're not going to do that. Like, even if he is found guilty, they're not going to do that to him. They're not going to throw him into a cell with murderers, because that's basically like a death. That's like a death sentence. So they're not going to do that. They're going to make sure that, he's protected. He's going to be protected. He's going to still keep his pension, I'm pretty sure. And there's no consequence that he has to pay as a result of this. There's no consequence that the department has to pay as a result of this, which I hear also another one of their own just killed another black man.
Right.
Unarmed black man this time, who, I know hers, it could have been probably a mistake, but I don't understand why your taser is right next to your handgun. I don't understand that.
You're gonna cop over 20 years, I read, yo.
Yeah,
but trying to hear that.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, if the moment something like this happens, if they take the precautions to, like, you know what, you're going to get suspended without pay, or your pension is going to get affected. They won't go to those links because, and the reason why they don't go to those links is because to the powers that be, which is just in my opinion, this is strictly my opinion. This is not the views of the collab or anything else, but this is just my opinion. The reason why they will not go to the links to where they will not take anything affecting their money is because the fact that them killing a black man is not an offense. It's nothing major. So it's still in a way it's still like, segregation, racism, and everything. It's no civil rights into that. There's nothing saying that, hey, this is wrong. It's still acceptable in America's eyes. That's the law of the land still. No matter how much they want to paint it with a different kind of picture, that is the law of the land, unfortunately.
Right. And I mean, at the end of the day, dog, like, it's all political.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about people, like, you think about the way police try to spin it, is that, it's like, they kind of blackmail people, to like, oh, well, this is how you treat the police officers. He's a, they try to use the whole, blue, the whole police spin that they do all the time. And, at the end of the day, I just say that, we as a people, because my thing is this, there's not so much, it's not so much we can take. You know what I'm saying? And, how many mistakes is going to happen? How many times? Like, come on, like, let's just call it for what it is. Like how many times this is going to happen to a certain demographic?
I was gonna ask y'all, like, so like y'all think, I feel like the general, most of us know, well, our fear as a people is that nothing for real is gonna happen. Like proper justice isn't going to be served. So my question, what do y'all feel like Black people will do? Like, what do y'all feel like we will do? Do y'all feel like we're gonna wild out?
No,
Like,
I mean, well, you know what? I think so past history normally dictates like what kind of has a good chance of predicting what will happen from like future events. Yeah, I think there's probably gonna be like a riot or people gonna wall out, which and I'm not supporting any of that because I don't think when we do that or if anybody does that in the name of righteous of justice, nothing's going to change. Like we need to change the result, like our actions and make it to do something different than what we've already done. Because apparently that hasn't changed anything. No riot, no protesting out there, and I think it's going to change anything. I mean, yeah, we're going to get mad, but what are you going to do differently?
Right.
So I think something else needs to be done to as far as changes. It's like it's no riots, none of that other stuff. I really think that in order to change this, there needs to be some decisions and changes made behind the scenes where people's money gets affected. When you affect people's money, then they start taking notice. When you affect their money, affect their way, how they're going to make a living, then it gets serious. But until they do that, in my opinion, until anybody or any type of law system does that, they are not serious as far as how they view what happens when somebody in our demographic gets assaulted or killed. Nothing. They don't. That's how I feel that they don't care. Because if they do care, they would go to the next step and do that.
I mean, you ain't got to tell me. You ain't this verdict, whether it's guilty, not guilty. You've already told me that you don't care. That ain't even
exactly the fact that they're having a trial.
The fact that there's a trial, straight up. You right on that. Straight up.
I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, there are cases, white, black. You know what I'm saying? That's blatant. Just like, yo, why are we having the trial? But they have it anyway. So at the end of the day, everybody can have their day in court. People waste the government's money every day.
All the time.
With cases that is just straight up like you did it. So that I mean, honestly, I already know that's gonna happen because if I was on trial or if I was trying to, go home and not face jail time, yeah, I'm taking that trial. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I did it, I'm taking that trial. You know what I'm saying? Because there's loopholes and everything. So there's always in the justice system, there's always some type of light at the end of the tunnel to where you get to get off. There's loopholes and everything. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. That's his right to have his trial. But what I'm saying is the fact that like if you say like at the end of the trial it says not guilty and but you still don't, because here's the thing, you can be guilty or not guilty and you still can have your own rules within a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can be like, oh yeah, all right, cool, congratulations, not guilty. But look, as for what I believe in or what the board of whatever seat saw, you were flagrant. And you're fired. You understand what I'm saying? Like let's take the NBA. Right?
Yeah.
If this was an NBA player and they got caught on camera and choking somebody else, like, or even NFL, like let's take Ray Rice. Remember Ray Rice?
Beat his wife.
Yeah.
Right? Or what's the other one? Somebody else in the elevator. But either way, if those cases were not guilty, let's say they say, hey, he's not guilty, the NFL is going to suspend you, or they're going to ban you from the league.
So if something like that happens, like with a player, so they can't turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to get my lawyer, I'm going to sue. They can't do that.
They can do that, but see, here's the thing: when you signed up, for the NFL, the rules say that you have to, as far as the way they look at it, is you have to respect the shield, right? Like the NFL shield is like when you go out, because all right, so you're already an NFL player, right? So if you're already an NFL player, you're already representing the NFL. You got drafted.
Sure.
The NFL. So when you go out in the public and you represent the NFL. Now, if you go in the public and you wear an NFL, I mean, you're already an NFL player, you wear NFL gear or whatever, you're going to, people are going to know you're part of the NFL, and they're going to know if you're out there smoking crack, right? Hey, it's the NFL player smoking crack.
Yep.
Or he might be in a state that's with legal weed, legalized weed. He's not doing nothing wrong, right?
Right.
If he's in a state where they smoke weed, but guess what? He's an NFL player. So that's what I'm saying. You are a police officer who's supposed to be representing the protecting and serving the public. Whether the court of law finds you guilty or not guilty, the police officers or whoever their board or whatever should look at the situation and be like, yo, that's not protecting and serving.
I find it funny that they have more rules and regulations in place for NBA players than they do for police officers.
I was gonna say, like, one of the things is like an NFL player, like we all, like, what's our name? The receiver for the Steelers. Then he went to the Patriots. Then he went to the Bucks. Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah,
he had some off-field issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, as far as like how he performed on the field when he was doing his job,
right?
The man did his job,
right?
This man did not do his job. So when it comes to, I'm forgetting this man's name, but the man that killed George Floyd, this dude that straight up
should have forgotten.
He did not do he wasn't doing his job. And every single person on that stand reaffirmed every single time, this man does not do his job.
Right.
So it's like, with that, I'll just be like, yo, like at the end of the day, your job, like you said, is to protect and serve. And if you're not doing that, you're incapable of doing that. What are we talking about? Like,
right.
That's true.
It's a game. That's a game.
I do find also, like, it's interesting though that the case for Ahmaud Arbery, the one who got shot and who got killed when he was jogging, they did find the people associated in that case. They did find them guilty. I forgot what the results as far as the penalties and everything they had to face, but they found them guilty in that. And honestly, it's weird because I honestly thought I was shocked to find out that they found them guilty. And it's sad that when you see something on TV and you want to think one way from what you're looking at, but you start anticipating the opposite effect of what you kind of call it like it is. That's messed up that you have that in this day and age. What we're living in, how we're living, is that we have to think the opposite as far as what we consider justice.
I mean, honestly, what really is justice, man?
Exactly. I think it's just whatever you perceive it to be.
Yeah,
justice is not black and white. It's whatever anybody perceives it to be. Some people
white.
perceive it. Yeah, I mean it's not. Yeah, it is. I guess you could say it is white, but I mean, but you can't. It's not. It's whoever holds the authority of making the laws. that is who determines what justice is.
And here, that's
in the country that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro.
And I guess it's everywhere too, because I'm like, if you were in any other country, whoever is in control of the laws, they get determined whatever they want to do or whatever. They can do whatever. It's just they are the ones who are in charge of enforcing the law. So whatever they deem is justice, they're gonna pull that. They're gonna pull the strings to say that it is.
Well, listen. Here's the thing, man, and we'll end it like this. Like at the end of the day, man, like people, like you said, people in power are going to do what they want to do. But we have power. We're just not using it. We just really, because at the end, like you were mentioning earlier about, riot, doing the riots and everything. My thing is, why do something where people were already prepared for you to do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they already know when it ends.
Between the lines with that one. Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to be behind the scenes. All right, he's not guilty. He's not guilty, right? So we're going to be prepared with the riot gear, and we're going to be ready. They're going to riot. You know what I'm saying? They already prepared for that. Why do that? Why not say, you know what? Hey, until you do right, we ain't shopping here, we ain't shopping there, we ain't shopping here, we ain't shopping there, and we gonna go about our business. You know what I'm saying? Until y'all do right. That's it.
I think that would get the most the immediate response that people are looking for. Like, because my thing is, like, if I do an action, I want it to be known and people to pay attention to it. So to me, if you affect somebody's money or something or how they make a living, that's going to immediately get your attention. So people don't want this. I think they hold monetary value and what it costs of living over the value of human life. So that's what they pay attention to, unfortunately.
So who do you, well, not who, but like, as far as like, in order for us to get attention or something, where do y'all feel like us as a people, who do y'all feel like holds that power as far as like, who would we listen to as far as like, that's usually entertainment. I usually feel like.
I don't even think we should. I like, and
like where we actually pay attention.
I feel funny with even just our celebrities or whoever do we look up to as far as leaders in our community, because I think they're suspect of being on that side themselves. I mean, now I'm not saying all of them, but I think that there's a good number. We just don't know who. So honestly, I feel that we as a people who feel that, if something needs to be done with it, people need to get together and just do an action. Like, I mean, you even take it back to the point where, like, you had closed door sessions, and you plan to strategize that way or whatever. But our so-called people in charge or whatever, if they haven't did anything by now, they're not going to do anything. Like, they're not going to do anything. Because, I mean, if you look at it, they don't want their money to get affected either. And they take their money from powers that be from them too. So they don't want that. They're not going to want that. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to get their hands dirty, in my opinion.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is how I feel, bro. The people have the power.
I agree.
The people. Now, the people are right now being programmed.
Mm-hmm.
When you are sheep, and I'm just generally speaking. When you're distracted, because sheep, when I say sheep, I feel like, like people are distracted by other things, which makes them sheep, right? Makes them so that they're not paying attention. right? So they following everything else, but they're not realizing that other things are going on and that their power is being taken away from them. Once they realize they got the power, or even care that they have the power, then I think that's when things would change. But until then, it ain't gonna happen, bro. And that's at the end of the day, that's how I feel about it. But hopefully my next generation, my kids' generation understands that. Hopefully it ain't too late by then. But that's how I feel. And we'll move on, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend too much on that. But it was a good conversation. And I want to properly say, that Jay Sheree and Tay are not here. So we have Walt from Water to Wine filling in today. We've missed you guys and hope you're enjoying your day, your night off on the podcast.